Hello everyone, welcome to Fine Moon Rising. My name's Marie. We're going to be pulling some Gemini cards here and examining the energy for Gemini for June. And then we'll pull some more tarot cards. So what you're going to see on your video is me pulling the cards all out for Gemini from Arcana Astrology as well as the tarot cards. So you represent the third house, and the third house is communication, the way we think about things. Writing and journaling is very favorable for you this month. It's a time of learning, so if you need to take any classes or if you needed to take classes, it's time to do so. And then it's also time to be in tune with your body rhythms. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is providing you with a sigil for the month of June for Gemini. And I'll go ahead and draw that. And when I start drawing all of that, you will be able to, I'll explain tarot. I'll do career first and then I will do relationships. And so you will have the best of both worlds here, kind of watching me draw something if you'd like, learn how to do a sigil. Okay, so sigil magic. What I did is get a sticky here related to the cards of Gemini for June and the energy as well. And so what I came up with is duality, choices, opposites, and what sigil is exactly needed. And when I looked at the cards, I noticed that there was quite a lot of, we do have a lot of negative cards for the sign of Gemini, but we also have the Lovers, which is a choice card, and it is also, a card. It is basically just great choice as well as bringing things together. So Gemini has that unique ability. So I wanted to know what the energy feels like, a push and a pull, especially for June, because you do have Jupiter in first house and Saturn in the 10th house, and that is for your professionalism, and we will get into that in just a moment. But what I found out here was that the sigil that worked best for you today would be, I can see the freedom in choice. And so, because Gemini goes back and forth, dual sign, but there's also a lot of cerebral energy. And so what I did here was write out, I can see the freedom in choice. I got rid of all the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. And then I was left with any letters that were not repeats. I also crossed out the repeats. And then I am now drawing a sigil with the letters that are left, and I will be transferring it to the larger white page. Okay? That seemed to work best for Gemini for June. And let's talk a little bit as I'm getting started here. So I'm just outlining and getting things prepared. So I start with stickies because, why not? They were available. Jupiter in first house. So we're going to get into your career reading next. And it's very important for professional advancements, professional endeavors, because you also have Saturn in the 10th house in June. So what we need to do is spend money very wisely this month. And also we need to work on our long-term stability. So anything that's going to provide our long-term stability. Now, we did mention earlier about classes and things like that, taking classes. That is important for our career growth and expansion as well. Even if you're just taking a painting class or something like that, that is expansive. So there's something about doing that as well. We do need to pay attention to our body rhythms. And so that would be our circadian rhythms as well as other rhythms of our life. So it's important that learning be magnified, as well as paying attention to our health and well-being as far as rhythms go. Rhythms, our moon cycles, our hormonal cycles, all of that kind of thing. And right now I'm just getting my things together. I wanted you to continue to be able to see the cards, and then we'll get our pastels out. So I did find out as I was drawing here that the Cray Pass is still my favorite, but I do have these other ones that I am using as well. So there we go. We're getting started here with our sigil for June energy for Gemini. Right, so continuing on with Saturn in the 10th house as well as Jupiter in your first house. It's also favorable for travel, so but we do need to pay attention to our money. So I'm gonna say like cheap travel, maybe plan way in advance, that type of thing, or short trips might be better. Staycations even might be a good idea. There's going to be some introspection as well that's going to be happening here in June for Gemini. And it's just a reset. It's kind of a pause before you continue on with, all of those goals that you have in mind. So Jupiter is a very expansive energy, very energetic energy. and we can kind of ride on those coattails. So if there's any long-term goals that you really just, you've been putting off, June is the time to really make a plan of action. Actually start planning end of May, and make a plan of action to kind of attack those goals little by little, every single step. Okay, so powerful energy for career right now. And so let's get into, as we're drawing out our sigil there. So I use capital letters, so you'll see those are capital letters, like that's an N over there on the right. And then there's a T, there's an H, and you might have seen me cross things off. And now I'm just going to fill in things here. So, and you can do these sigils at home, however you feel like it, whatever you like to use. Some people like watercolor, that type of thing. But we will continue on here for Gemini's energy for June into career. I did pull some tarot cards, and I'll see if I can put them with the video, but I am new to this. This is an experiment, so welcome to my experiment. And I'll see if I can put a picture of that up for you. If not, then we're doing the best we can right now. I'll try again. Okay, so you're starting out with the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Wands. So career-wise, we've got something that's just more of a burden, more time than it's worth. Maybe you're expecting it to be something that's to get something more from it, but it's not living up to expectations. And we can be very disappointed when that happens. So I feel like you're starting from a point of like, is this really worth it? Like, dang, if maybe you've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort with very little return on investment. And so something in your life is just maybe not quite there. Okay. And then what could help or hinder you? I do have the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups. All right. It's just kind of realizing that so on the surface, what you're doing now may not seem like it's super important. It may not seem like it's going to go anywhere, but there could be other things you can add to it to make it more lucrative. So it's building on that skill set. It's building on, it's networking. It's building your network up, asking people for opportunities, that type of thing. And so there's something here about kind of coming into your own as far as your worth, right? If something is not worth your time, you're going to be moving on, but we need to keep that thing that we're working on until we move on to something else. And just bear with time. The element of time is very important here. Okay, so Page of Swords was in your past. So it's just kind of a quick epiphany, a realization. And I think career-wise, you're realizing that this is just not going exactly as planned. Something didn't quite come about the way you wished it would come about. And I feel like for you, it's very important for you to kind of reassess, and start over a little bit as far as that goes. We do have the Temperance card in your subconscious. Temperance card, of course, is weighing and measuring, but it's also a time of peace. You have a little reprieve coming at some point. Maybe you get a few days off, maybe you get a rest day, something like that. There's a little bit of a mental reprieve, almost luck coming in as well. So career-wise, you might have to take a step back and actually cleave that time back to kind of recenter yourself and take a little breather before you go ahead and make that plan and set those goals and try again. Okay, Ace of Swords is in your subconscious, your conscious, and that is energy to move forward, energy to very rapidly. Okay, it's rapid ideas, enlightenments, stuff coming in. It's almost like epiphanies. So June is going to be very good for realizations, right? And then communicating with other people in order to receive help, to receive support, to even bounce ideas off people. But it's going to be very important to you, to any idea, any opportunity that comes your way, any little epiphany. It's kind of like we need to research that like now, within the next 5 minutes. We need to do it right away and see if it is worthwhile. See if it is going to be a worthwhile path for us. We don't want to waste time. And with the expansive energy of Jupiter, we definitely want to put a lot of energy in things that are going to have a return on investment, especially in our career path. In our future, we do have the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles, of course, is that energy. Not 3 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, but I saw 3 on the top. Okay, so equal parts building, equal parts budgeting your time. that type of thing is happening for you in June. Equal parts building and budgeting of your time, budgeting of your energy. This is also actually budgeting as well. So we do need to make a plan with our money, our finances, see where everything is. I mean, you could old-fashioned write it down, Excel spreadsheet, whatever program you like to use, you can use whatever. Just need to watch things. We could have subscriptions out everywhere that are charging us money monthly. Maybe we need to find those and kind of cut that off, something like that. Just things you haven't used in a million years, and why do you have them? But there's other things that are free, subscribing to this channel, say, is free, whatever. And if you like this content, please let me know, by the way, because I'll continue doing this. I like art and I like tarot, so it kind of is a win-win for me. If it's a win-win for you, let me know. All right. Anyway, we're moving. Your approach has been the Ten of Swords. What can I cut out of my life? What can I get rid of? What can I streamline? What can I make a little bit better? It's also an ending, but it's a beginning as well. So you are in a process of something in your life is ending, but something is beginning very rapidly, maybe more rapidly than you had anticipated before. And so that can be a little tricky. And anytime we have to end something, anytime we know the end is nigh, it's like we have to make these rapid decisions to move in another direction pretty quickly. And I think that can put you in a spot of stress, of overwhelm, of that kind of thing. Okay, so as far as your environment, though, you do have the Nine of Wands. Again, it's like some of these things are wasting our time. We don't need to be doing it. What is the end game, right? So, okay, so take this for example. I'm making oracle cards. So that's what you're seeing right there is an oracle card. There you go. I'm combining two things at once because I like two things at once. And also, honestly, reading tarot just alone kind of, I don't know, it's not very unique. So I want to do something unique. Trying this out. It's an experiment. Hope you like it. Anyway, that's what I mean. Something has become a burden in your environment. Now, it could be just like a lot of responsibilities, but it could also be things that are making you spin your wheels. If you're spending too much time, going down rabbit holes on things that aren't really worth it, kind of ADHD anxiety response. By the way, ADHD is a result of anxiety. It is a coping mechanism. It is kind of running away from that anxiety, that uncomfortableness of the anxiety. If you're in that wheel, and Geminis can get that way very quickly, and then we can get very apathetic, and we can get very cranky about being in that wheel. That might be part of your burden. That might be part of something you're dealing with right now. And so you just be on the lookout for that kind of thing, and that's going to be in your energy right now. Do I think it's going to clear up? I think it's going to clear up, absolutely. In June, this is kind of like end of May. By the time I put this out here, it's a beginning of May. So by June, that'll all clear up for you. Okay. All right. Page of Pentacles is your advice. Now, Page of Pentacles, they're always learning cards. And that's why I say, along with this third house that, represents Gemini, and also with the Jupiter in the first house and professional advancements, it's very important that we really capitalize on learning. And that is taking trainings. That is, if there's a training offered at your workplace, take it. If they're going to pay for your college or something like that, then go ahead and take that. If there is a grant, a scholarship, or anything you can grab, take that. If there's a certificate that you can grab, that's great. Continuing education of any kind is very lucrative right now. But also Page of Pentacles, we need to learn about all the things that we want to do. If you have interest in investing, we need to learn more about that. If you have interest in also, better ideas for dealing with money is very important. So better ideas, handling your money, taking care of your money, watching your money, and places you can place it as well. If there's any financial things that you need to take care of, such as, wills, whatever, please employ a lawyer or somebody that knows stuff about that. We need to be looking for those type of opportunities. But as far as career goes, anything you can learn, expand, add to your resume, CV would be very important at this time. Okay, energy for that. All right, you're going to come to the Hierophant here. The Hierophant is I can teach other people now, right? So I think that you've been career-wise maybe through the gamut, like maybe you've had several jobs, or maybe you've had, to work several jobs. Most of us have more than one, I don't know anybody who just has one. And I feel like there's things that that you can share with other people, and that's going to allow you. So you sharing with other people are going to actually allow people to learn, which is going to expand your tribe. expand your networking. It costs you nothing to help somebody else because you know that they're going to reciprocate in the future. And that's not why we're helping, really, is for reciprocation, but really, I mean, we are wanting to invest in people that invest in us. So even if it's just companionship, but career-wise, we're definitely networking with people that are on our path, that should be, you know, lateral to us, above us, you know, under us, whatever it is, but people who have a different perspective that we can learn from, that we can share our perspective with. The key to the castle is actually in the people around you, and communication with the people around you. Communication is very important for you right now. Also, there might be some opportunities for travel. I'm just going to put that out there, but there's some sort of key here. The key is in communication for your career path. Okay, and we're moving right along. I am going to go ahead and pull some cards for, and bear with me, it might be a little, hopefully it is not noisy, but you'll hear me shuffling here. And so, lesson learned, I should probably have 2 decks, and that way I don't have to do this. Okay, relationship-wise for Gemini, we start with the 5 of Cups there. We have the Ace of Cups, the High Priestess, the Hierophant here, the Justice card, the Hermit card, Ace of Swords here, Page of Wands, the 10 of Swords, and then the 8 of Wands. Okay, so for Gemini, we are starting out with the 5 of Cups. Relationship-wise, you might have had to say goodbye to somebody. There's some sort of dissolution in a relationship. It doesn't always have to be romantic, so if you're not interested in romance or that kind of thing, and this is not a romantic connection, it could be a friend connection or a family connection that you've had to just kind of thin that cord on. You know, I think you're kind of fraying it is what's happening, and you're thinning that cord, making it smaller, whittling it down, and kind of letting that person do their own thing. It's important that we let others do their own thing, have their own journey, and we have our journey. And that's not compassionless, it's actually loving, because nobody really wants to be told what to do. You know, we can suggest all we want, but nobody wants to be told what to do. And so at this point, I think you are just like whittling down a connection, pulling away from a connection for whatever reason. Ace of Cups, probably for another connection, probably for a connection with yourself as well. So it's strengthening the bond with yourself, your self-worth, that type of thing for you in this reading. Okay, so in June, we're going to definitely be strengthening our self-worth. We're going to be, and that's what, you know, paying attention to your body rhythms. It's very important that you do pay attention to your sleep cycle. Very important that you pay attention to your cycle, to any kind of cycle that you have, especially health-wise and eating and things like that. So there's something here about drink extra water and really take care of yourself and monitor what kind of foods you're putting in your body. If you look at that food and you know that is like, you know, it's gonna cause you stomach upset, then we just need to move right on away from that. And then also move your body. So yoga is super important. I'm never going to not say yoga or journaling, so you'll get really tired of that, I'm sure. Okay, the Hierophant is in your past in relationship. So you did have to show somebody something. I think in this connection, you were kind of the one that they came to for answers. And I feel like you're just like, you know what? I don't have them anymore because you don't have time. You know, and so there's something here about that's why you're kind of thinning the cord on this, is because you're like, you know what? I'm not your go-to because I just don't have time right now. You know, you're definitely be working on your career. Career super is going to take forefront in June. Forefront in June is just going to start flying. So you might be very busy. Okay, the High Priestess. In your subconscious, you do have this High Priestess. I think you're sorting out any kind of traumas, shadows, anything in your kind of stored in your body. Notice pains in your body. Pains will show up as a result of mental traumas. It's like the body's trying to tell you, you know, you might have a knee pain and the body's trying to tell you, hey, you know what? You're off balance. Your right knee hurts, but your left knee doesn't. You're off balance. What's off balance? Now, any kind of medical things, pain things, go ahead and talk to your doctor about that. You know, there's probably something that can be done there. But any kind of odd aches and pains that come and go and things like that, obviously get them checked out. But we do need to pay attention to the body's expression of our traumas. And so there's something here about that. The High Priestess as well. I feel like this is a very healing time for you. Very expansive, very healing. very, very healing. So, set up all those appointments that you need to set up, to with your healthcare providers, and also diet. Take an inventory of the diet, the things that work for you, the things that don't work for you, that type of thing. It's really important that you take care of yourself. All right, the Justice card. We'll see. And when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of others around you, because you're going to have so much more energy to handle all of life's ups and downs. Okay, we do have the Justice card in your subconscious as far as connections go. Okay, so if there's any kind of paperwork that needed to be filed, it's going to be kind of done, done over with. You're going to figure that out. You're going to just file that. You're going to do what you need to do, that type of thing. So if you did have some sort of agreement with somebody, then that will be dissolved very quickly, and you will be able to be on your way, separately. But also, this is for you, like planning for your future. How, and you might be projecting the future, like how much money do I need for the future? It could be those type of things where it's just a necessary evil, where we need to really put away money. You might be putting away money for your future, and you're wanting to know what your future is going to look like, especially in connection and as far as love life goes. Is it going to be with one person, or are you just banking on things being by yourself? Do you have family? Do you have friends you need to take into consideration? All those types of things are going to come into play in your life, and you're kind of balancing out everything in your life, because everybody has responsibilities, and you're seeing those responsibilities, and you're taking them into consideration as you are moving forward in this next month, next year, that type of thing. The Hermit. We do have the Hermit in your immediate future, and the immediate future for the Hermit just indicates that you're going to have this time of reprieve. You're going to have this little tiny rest time, and you're going to be able to, you might be traveling. Actually, I did see traveling in your astrology. It might be just like a mini break, or, a staycation, something like that. But there could be some sort of travel where you get to reset, recharge, rejuvenate, maybe look at something a little bit different. Look at all your connections differently, and you could be meeting a lot more people at that time. So there could be tribe there, and you're going to be kind of carrying the light, because the reason you're there is to kind of rest. The reason you're there is to recharge. The reason you're there is to wait for those ideas, to gain that passion back, to gain that energy back. And so that's what's going to be happening in your immediate future. Now, you have been very Ace of Swords about connections. Like, what if we do this? What if I do this? If it's a connection with yourself, you're thinking, well, what if I do this? What if? There's a lot of what if happening, I feel, on this Ace of Swords. And the energy is like overwhelming, too much what if. It's very overwhelming. There's a whole lot of what ifs. Not exactly sure what's going to happen here in your future. And that can be very overwhelming. I just feel like a very overwhelming energy. And I believe it's, after you take some sort of little trip or something like that, I believe that's kind of when that overwhelm is going to happen. It's like, no, I just can't. It's like vacation you versus not vacation you. Even if you just had a staycation for a day, we can only do what we can do. But there's something here about just an overwhelm. Now, Page of Wands, there's going to be some very unique communication coming in. I feel like somebody's going to be on your path. There's an older person. Might be an older person on your path who wants to provide you with some energy to kind of make your life, your tribe, more complete. So I feel like there's opportunity. I feel like this is wrapped up, though, too, in your career path, because there's such a focus in June on career and that expansiveness. I think this communication is someone very important on your career path, but also in your future life, into the December timeframe. I don't know why December's coming up, but for some reason, like, this person's going to be very influential for you and on into December. You may be working with somebody else, that type of thing, but that's the reason why this Page of Wands is showing up here in your environment. It's a super important thing. It could be someone who just has like they're an old soul. I just feel they're older. Somehow they're older, either older soul, more experienced, something. They've got something to share with you, and you've got to just like stop and pay attention. I can't stress that enough. Okay, you do have this 10 of Swords in as the advice section, which is super weird, but we got to stop something. Got to stop something. We got to start something else. I think you've been in an energy for a long time as far as connection goes. Maybe you're thinking about them a certain way. Maybe this connection is just like the one that you got to get rid of. Or maybe you've just been having poor opinion of yourself. You know, it's time for that to be done. You know, we've got to be done with that. We've got to be ready to move on and move forward. Okay, and we do have this 8 of Wands here in your ending card. Your ending card is definitely the 8 of Wands. And I love this card. It's a Sagittarian card, and it is this card of that blissful, free energy. It's like things coming together. You know, you can't really miss. There's a crow. I want to show you the card. Hopefully I can take pictures of it. There's a crow here, and there's 8 wands flying at this bird, right? And this bird is like, you know, dodging them. It's kind of nice. But it's this free flow of energy of like, I can do anything, you know, almost I'm invincible types thing. So connection-wise, there might be someone that makes you feel that way, or your energy is like so good. It meshes and so good. I feel like there might be a business partner, but there is somebody here with more experience that is just going to be showing up in connection. So I do think your tribe is expanding, and I do think that this is a time for letting go of old attachments. It's also a time for accepting in new great attachments. So okay, let's see what else. Is there anything else that we can investigate here? Okay, yeah, opportunities I did see. Okay, I did see the 4 of Cups, so opportunities coming in for you, and that, I mean, that goes with Jupiter, and then the Saturn, of course. Saturn provides that restriction a little bit, so it's definitely a good idea to kind of organize things in your life. It's also very disciplined energy. Saturn is restriction and Jupiter is expansive. It's kind of this back and forth, and so not only is it, you know, Jupiter gold, you know, Saturn is like controlled gold. Like, you control the speed of how everything is happening. And so that's really important for you to kind of understand. Okay. Well, I hope these readings were helpful for you. And we're nearing the end of our painting here. And so this is your sigil. So, I wanted to use these colors, these purples and these pinks, because I just felt like the pink was very alive. And I do feel like this energy is very alive for you in June. And I think you're going to feel just very free. There's a lot of freedom, and there's that Sagittarian card, that 8 of Wands. So I do feel like it's a very freeing time, especially like I can do anything with career and things like that. Okay, so these are oil pastels, by the way, and like I said, I have several types, but I do like those old crepe ones, the Sakura ones. Those are my favorite. They're the smoothest, and I tape it down. This is my garage desk here. Okay, and we're gonna see the ending product. And if you like this type of content, you find it interesting, then you can go ahead and let me know. I'll be trying to improve it. It basically means me learning programs is all, so you're gonna have to kind of wait for me to catch up. But yeah, just let me know if you like this, and I will do more of them, one for each sign, and then I'll just continue on that way, because, you know, energy changes. So okay, let's see. All right, and if you would like to see regular tarot readings, there are tarot readings about every 2 to 4 days, and they're collective readings. So okay, hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much.